What do you think, Mango? Alright. Hey guys, it's Cal, and this is Mango, my pineapple green cheek conure, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about Fiji. I don't know how many of you remember from my original Kels.Little.Zoo Instagram account, which I will put the name right here somewhere, that I had hand-raised a baby cockatiel named Fiji, and she was featured on the Planet Pleasures website and all that good stuff. This here is her story. What do you think? I had been debating making this video for a while, and I just figured now was a good time, and here we go, I guess. About a year ago, so fall of 2018, after I had lost my first cockatiel named Danny, I had decided that I wanted to get another cockatiel. I missed the cockatiel energy, so I went out looking for another cockatiel. I couldn't find any locally in my area, but I found a shop about an hour and a half away or so that had one baby cockatiel available. I was told it was a male because I was looking for a male, because that's what Danny, my original cockatiel, had been. Apparently my birds are killing each other over there. And they promised me and assured me that this bird was a male, but didn't have the DNA test, I guess, or the paperwork, or at least that's what they told me. But they assured me 100% sure it was a male. So I went out to meet this baby bird, and he was so cute and was still being hand-fed and still had a few more weeks to go with being hand-fed before he could go home. The shop itself, I will say, wasn't really the greatest shop. I think it was a little dirty. I wouldn't really consider it to be the greatest bird shop I've ever been to, and I've been to quite a few. But they had left, from hand feeding, they had left, the formula had, dried onto her neck and stuff, and they told me that, oh, it's because she didn't like being wiped down, so they just left it, I guess, which I think is pretty gross, to say the least, and unsanitary, that they just left it there. But I didn't really know anything about hand feeding birds, or really anything about that sort of thing. So I thought maybe that's normal practice. I don't know. But I put the down payment down, and I took her because she was really sweet, and she was cuddly, and it was oh. So I took her, and the owner of the shop, kept pushing for me to take her unweaned and hand feed her myself, which I told him I don't have any experience with that. I don't know anything about that. I don't feel comfortable with that. So I put my down payment down. I left. I didn't take her, which he kept kind of pushing that I should. But I was doing what I thought was the best for the bird, and I said no. I would not take her. I would not take a unweaned bird. So I left, and where I currently get my birds, it's about a half hour away, so I'm able to go visit them once a week. But this place was further away, so I couldn't go visit her once a week. But I would call once a week and check in and get her progress. About, I want to say, 3-ish weeks from when I first met her to then, they were making no progress. None. What are you doing? They were making no progress, and he kept pushing that I should take the bird and do it myself. And he sent me YouTube links and he gave me all the information, and I was still like, no, I don't really know anything about this. But finally he ended up convincing me to take the unweaned baby cockatiel, which most people in the bird community know is usually not a good idea, but I went ahead and I took her, and I was like, okay. So I went out there, they gave me all of the information, they showed me how to hand feed her, which I will insert a clip of right here.
It would be exact.
Okay.
That's what they usually sell.
Oh, are you hungry?
Okay. Thank you.
Are you hungry?
Sometime you can come in and get some.
And he'll just start eating. And you just lightly squeeze. You want to give it a try?
Yeah.
I mean, he just kind of eats.
You want, and you go really slow on the plunger, right?
Yeah, I go really slow. And try and face it towards his
Crop.
left side. Yeah.
That's more like-
left side. Yeah.
Got it?
Towards his right. I mean, yeah.
Got it?
Yeah. And he'll just eat, and you'll.
Bird swap. Mango wanted to go back to Tiki over there on their play stand because they are besties, and Mango was like, nope, I gotta go to my friend. So anyways, back to the story. After they showed me how to feed her, they gave me a little baggie with some formula in it. They said she was on 2 feedings, a morning feeding and a night feeding, and basically sent me on my way with this unweaned bird. And I came home, I did a bunch of research on YouTube and some bird community websites that I'm on and stuff. And of course, everybody on those bird sites, they scared the living heck out of me, telling me like, you know, I'm gonna kill this bird and that I need to take it back to the shop or get a professional, or that it was basically I'm gonna kill this bird. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and go forward with this. I should be okay. I've done my research. I'm always really good at researching stuff, so I went ahead with it. And she actually was a surprisingly great feeder. She just loved to eat. She'd gobble up her formula out of the syringe, and she just was really good at it, which I will insert another clip right here of in my parents' kitchen when my mom was helping me hand feed her one of the first times, and I love that little baby cry she makes. So I'm gonna put that here somewhere. Oh, are we hungry, Fiji? We're getting it.
Is it coming out?
Yeah. You're good. It's not on for about 2 weeks, I want to say. I think I hand fed her for about 2 weeks. And she did excellent. She really at first would only eat her millets. So I would take the millet and like hang it like right above her food dish. So when she's eating it, the little stuff would fall in there, which would make her want to munch in her food dish. And then I would start breaking pieces of the millet off and putting it in the food dish. So that's how she would have to get her millet. And she really started getting the hang of it, but still was insistent on her formula. So at that point, it was around time to cut back a feeding. So I cut back her morning feeding because I had read and heard that night feedings are the most important of the feedings. So I cut back on her morning feeding. It took 2 days, just 2 days of this, and she was done. She literally just decided, nope, I'm done with all formula. She didn't want anything to do with it. She was just eating her seed and her millet and her pellets, and her water and everything just like a champ. She just, 2 days of just missing a feeding and she was done. So she was probably about 11 or 12 weeks at this point. This is also around the time that I found out that my male bird was actually DNA female, despite the fact that the owner of this shop that I'm not going to name, but had assured me and promised me that it was a male bird, but she turned out to be a female. She was great. She got along with my other birds. She was my little sweetheart, and we had a really, really special connection because of me hand feeding her, and I loved my little Fiji girl. Okay. I said I wasn't going to do that. Unfortunately, due to some very unfortunate personal reasons and circumstances that I'm really I don't want to really put on the internet, all over on Facebook or all over YouTube and all that for anybody to know or judge, but due to some extremely unfortunate circumstances, I was left with no choice but to rehome Fiji. And it took a while to come to that decision that it needed to happen. At this point, she was probably about, I want to say 3 or 4 months, because that would have been around, I got her fall of 2018, and I think it was around February-ish was when she had to be rehomed. February of 19 is around the time when she had to be rehomed. Irie. You hear these crazy birds in the background? They just yell. It's a friggin' zoo in here. So I went around, I contacted some parrot shops that I'm very familiar with and that I am I know the people and everything, and asked for some advice because I didn't want to just send Fiji with anybody, and I wanted to make sure she went to a good home and was going to be loved and taken care of. And it took me a while, but one of the shops that I frequent, the owner, he told me about Parrot Hope Rescue, which was a bit of a drive for me, but they're a wonderful, wonderful rescue, and I love Parrot Hope. They're just a wonderful rescue. I will link their Facebook and their information down in the bottom bar, so if you're in the Ohio area and looking to rescue a bird or need help with a bird, definitely contact them. They'll be down in the bottom bar, so check them out. But we called them. I had my mom call because I couldn't do the phone call, so I had my mom call, and she spoke to one of the rescue people, one of the people with the rescue, and they said that they had somebody in my area who had cockatiels and was used to cockatiels and would be willing to take her. And at first I didn't know if she'd be going to this person to stay with this person, or if she'd be basically being picked up by this person and she was going to take her back to the rescue and then adopt her out and find her a home. So she passed our name and our information on to the lady that worked with the rescue that was in our area, and she called us back the same day and said she would be able to come pick up Fiji that evening. which I was so shocked it happened so quickly. But it was in her best interest at the time, and it had to happen that way. And so the lady came to pick up Fiji. She brought her other cockatiel named Rocky, who actually was disabled. He had to have his leg amputated at some point, and he's like basically would go everywhere with her. And I'm telling you, the minute Fiji and Rocky met, it was love at first sight. Like, it was meant to be. Rocky instantly was telling Fiji, "I love you, baby," which I'm gonna insert a picture from their very first time they ever met. It is so cute, right here. And they just were a perfect match. I spent some time speaking with the woman from Parrot Hope, and she was absolutely amazing. I knew beyond a doubt that Fiji would be loved and taken care of and would be in good hands. She ended up saying that she would not be adopting Fiji out. Fiji would be staying with her, which I really liked because I liked knowing where she was. I thought it was really great that I knew who Fiji was with, that Fiji was going to be staying with Rocky, her new little boyfriend, and it just was, it was good knowing where she was. And a couple weeks later, 2 weeks, something like that later, I got this adorable video texted to me, and it's just so sweet and so heartwarming. Because Rocky tells her that every day. I guess he tells her every day, "I love you, baby, I love you, baby, I love you, baby." And I just think that that is so sweet. It was like they were meant to be. And it was actually really cool that I actually got to meet, well, I didn't get to meet, I'd already met her, but I got to visit with Fiji this fall at the OHPH Fall Bird Fair. Are you posing? Yeah. At the bird fair, and those two are inseparable, and it was so sweet getting to see her. And Fiji was just her normal little nippy Fiji self, and it was really good knowing that she is doing well and she is loved. And I guess after speaking with Fiji's new mom, she said because Rocky is quite a bit older than Fiji, and because of his disability, his life expectancy would not generally be as long as a perfectly healthy cockatiel. Would you please? I'm trying to film. Yes. And that when the time comes and Rocky does pass, that she would like for Fiji to come back to me, which I think is so cool and would be so amazing. But seeing those two together, I wish for her and Rocky to have such a long, happy life together, because those two birds are like little birdie soulmates. And from what I'd heard, Fiji has done wonders for Rocky and is helped him so much, and they are so bonded, and I hope for both of their sakes they live a long, happy bird life, and know that if that all somehow comes back around, I would be absolutely over the moon to have Fiji back. But yeah, I want to say a big thank you to Tracy with Parrot Hope Rescue for taking Fiji in and giving her such a wonderful, amazing life. And I wish her and Rocky the best. And with that, I think I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And till next time, bye. Say bye, Rio. Say bye, Rio. Say bye.